Okay, so now it is the brace shaping time, and I'm going to start with the easiest one. So I've got these ibex planes. They're little luthier's planes. So I've got to move over. Hold on, let me change your view for a second here. But I've got these little luthier's planes, these little ibex planes that are nice. And so first thing I want to do is get everything to a peak. So everything's sort of a triangle shape. Get everything to a peak, so everything's sort of triangular shaped. So we just take a little off each side and just work our way over. And it's just easy to work your way to a point here, and then we scallop out the bottoms. And I just sharpened these, so they should be really well sharpened, but I haven't used them in a long time, many years. Yeah, they're doing all right. This one's set kind of heavy. I got another one that's set lighter. It seems to be digging into the grain too, maybe. Let's see if this side works better. It's cutting really well. That's the top brace basically. It's going to get scalloped a little bit too, so let's find that measurement real quick. Whatever that, let's say it comes in about 2 inches, so right about here and right about here we start dropping it, so it starts to go down. We start making a nice little slope here. This might be good for an aggressive one. There we are. Yeah. Do the other side. I think I'm going to do the whole thing with this chisel instead of the planes. It goes quicker, I think. Lets me get down to depth here fast enough. You guys see what I'm doing over there? Yeah, you can kind of see. I'm just basically working back as I need room for the back of the bevel. Too much. Don't want to take too big of a bite. It's about depth right there, so start working our way here. It's pretty good. There we go. Try to steepen this descent a little bit. I'm looking at both of them and making sure I get them kind of symmetrical, because I just think that I want them that way. Okay. And I can just gently peel the rest of that off. It's pretty good. Almost pretty good. It's easy to keep going and screw yourself up, but I think that'll work. I like what I see so far, but I want to give this just a little bit more of a rounding. Like that, and then there's kind of a flat spot right there. Okay. Alright, so we got our first brace shaped from the last time. Welcome back to the shop. Got our first brace shaped, mostly. It's a little bit, if I sight down, it's a little, the peak is a little too far to the left, so I need to shift it that way a tiny bit. But for the most part, it's pretty good. That one's set really deep. Yeah, that one's better. I'm just gonna inspire it to tip a little. I'm gonna take a tiny bit off of it just to move the peak over. And it really is just a matter of scrubbing off the parts of the wood that you need to remove. That's much better. I like that. I can move that a lot. Alright, something occurred to me while I was working on this one was that the peaks of these were getting in my way, so I'm going to knock these peaks down first. I'm just going to do all the peaks right off the bat, which means I need to go look at the plans. So I've got the plan laid out, and I can go from the pieces here and just figure out where my peaks need to be. So that I think what I'll do is mark all those out here real quick. I think it would be easier to mark those by center line, but there's a tough, yeah, we can probably do it by center line. So this one is about 22, let's see, it's about an inch, no, it's about 3/4, about 7/8 from the center here. So there's a peak right there. And then there's another peak about 6.5 from there. So that means all of this here gets scooped out. And then that one just gets dropped to nothing. From this point down gets dropped to nothing. What's going on with this thing? This side just gets faded down. Doesn't get a scallop at all. Does the same happen here? 7/8, just about 6.5. Yeah, so 7/8 from there as well. Let's do it from here. And this is really, I don't think this is super precision work. This is like you shape it till it gets to where it needs to be, and that's what you use. So go from the center line here, which is how far? Interesting. They do give measurements on the plan. I guess I could use those too. Yeah, it's interesting. They don't do it on all of them though. Oh well, it's okay. We're going to do 3 7/8 from the center line here. That's already in. It's about in the same place. About the right spot. These are marked already. This one goes to 0 at some point. Just a hump. Okay, then those little guys, it says 39 millimeters, so that's just the peak, right? Yeah, so we just peak right about there. And 34 for the short guys, okay. This is 39 over here. It's kind of weird that I'm using this little hook rule, but it'll work. 39 and 34. Okay. And that pretty much marks them all out. This one, these guys here, I can just sort of fade my way down on it. So I'm just gonna knock them out. And the best way is to sneak up on that. And so on these guys, the big ones, nothing goes to none of them go to 0. But on these two and the small braces, they go to 0. Yeah, they feather out to 0 on the ends, on the far ends. So just double checking that. And just this one goes down to 3 millimeters, so it's the same thickness as this is. A little more here. I'm going to keep coming back because that needs a pretty shallow, it's a pretty shallow curve that it's doing here. All right, so that's all the shaping on here. I didn't do a lot of talking. Actually, I didn't do much of any talking because I think when I explained it the one time, it didn't need much more than that. The next step here is to sand this stuff, but I'm going to do the back first so I can do the sanding all in one shot. In the end, this all came out really nice. It gave me a good feel for how solid all the bracing is placed. There's not much more to talk about here. I think we're just going to switch this out and put the back on here now, so we can do the back next. So I'm going to go get the back plate and put that on here now. There's the back plate. So now you just have to hold this guy. I'm going to probably do it like this, and I may have to move the hold fast once or twice. Can't put it in the middle, that's dumb. Can't put it there neither. Well, then I'll come over this way. So I'm going to try to get this so that I don't have to reposition the hold fasts too much if I can help it, because this should go a lot quicker than the last operation. The front was a much more convoluted, not convoluted, much more complex operation. So just try to grip it in the middle. Yeah, there's not that much of a. It's not going to be too big of a problem, I don't think. So I'm going to get after this with my same little planes. I got my little Luthier's planes here, and this little guy's adorable and full of sawdust, full of shavings. And then one more, just the family of them. We're gonna get after this, and these are just getting peaked and scalloped on the ends, and that's it. Not much to it. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna measure those and get the scalloping. So those all come off the center, and they're all different. That's cool. So let's get set up to mark those the way I want. All right. So this plan is kind of handy in this case, where they mark where the scallops start relative to the center line. So I'm just going to take my compass, find center. Oh, it does it from there? Well, that's dumb. Actually, it doesn't do it from the center line. It does it from you got this little strapping that goes in between here, and all that strapping is a little more. Actually, it will work fine because I'm not going to actually use the numbers. The numbers it gives you, this says 65 millimeters. But that's from the edge of that strapping to the scallop, not the edge of the center, or not from the center. But the drawing is full scale, and I have a center mark. I already have a center line, so I don't even care what the number is. I don't have to do any math. I just gotta put the tip of the compass on that line and then bring it in. This is not a critical, precise thing either. It doesn't have to be perfect, but might as well get close. That's on B1 right over the center. And I'm gonna, because it's like this weird little compulsion of mine, I am going to actually try to get it precise, even though I don't need to. There. And we'll put our center here. And that's where the line is. And we'll do it on both sides so I don't have to transfer twice. And then we go update the next one. This one is 41. And we'll just keep going with this until all of them are marked. This is way more precise than it needs to be, but I'm doing it because it's kind of funny. What the heck, why not? As long as I can see where my center is. That's tough on this book match. This book match was really good. Almost glad I had to do it again. And the next bigger one. Uh-oh. It won't go wider. I can't take this to the full width, unfortunately. My compass won't go any deeper, any bigger than this. And I have yet to make myself a beam compass. I don't know why. Just haven't done it. Don't think I'm going to be able to reach all the way. I will. Ah, it does. Just barely by like a millimeter. Sweet. Okay, that'll work. This just barely makes it, which means I can't use this technique on a larger guitar until I make myself a beam compass. Okay, there we are. Now I have my scallop lines marked, and I can begin the scallop. I might as well scallop. I've gotten to where I don't mind. I said earlier that the scalloping kind of bugged me, that doing the shaping first and then scalloping was actually a problem, but it's actually not so bad now that I've got some practice doing it. So I'm just going to go after it here. These go down to 3 millimeter. It looks like, yeah. Okay. So they get a little bit of thickness left over. And this shape truly is kind of an organic, whatever I feel like making it shape, sort of this curve. I mean, there's nothing really that precise about it. I guess you could trace it and make it exact, but I don't think I'm going to do that. Okay. Now we'll just chisel the pair. I'll do the pairing right to my line because the finessing with the planes is negligible, I think. So. And just be careful you don't damage the board. And just split off what you don't need. There we go. And this spruce cuts so kindly. It's very, very forgiving to the chisels. It wants to be cut. And then we'll just come in with a plane afterwards and clean that up. Just about sliced my finger to pieces there. Easy, just about stabbed my bench though. Come out here. This part's pretty easy to do. Nothing to it really. Like that. Alright, I'm gonna give you some pretty music here to entertain you while I do the rest of these. Yeah. Alright, music time. Alright, that is rough shaped, all peaked, scalloped. We're ready to do a bunch of really tedious sanding, so we're just going to sand all these guys smooth. I'm going to just start with, I guess this will be 80 grit here. I'm going to see about whether I should put a sponge behind this or something so it doesn't round soft to this. So we're going to play around with that a little bit and we'll bring you in a second. Okay, so the front and back are done. Hello. Are braced. They're not done, but they're braced, and the bracing has been shaped. There's tiny little slivers of some reinforcing stuff that I need to put on, but we're basically ready for side bending. I should have aimed the camera better. Hello. So we're ready to do the sides. I'm at the point now, I can't do the neck, I can't take the neck much further without having the body in a box shape. Like I want to do the dovetail for the neck joint before I glue the fretboard on. So I need to have the body shape, I need to have the body box. And so I need to get the side, so in order to get the body box, I need to bend the sides. In order to bend the sides, I need a side bending jig or a way to bend the sides. The parts came in. I'll go get that. It's over here. Actually, no. Oh, I'm down here now. Hello. How's it going? So, brief interlude while I work on the side bending machine. Shouldn't take too much, I hope. But it's a tiny distraction from the build. And I'm going to do that as a, I'm going to do the side bending portion, or the side bending machine, the building of the machine as a separate set of videos because, frankly, I think it deserves to stand on its own. It may or may not go along or get released simultaneously with the Martin, the 00 build. Boy, this is so funny looking. So we're pausing a bit from the build so I can make the side bending machine. And I just wanted to keep everybody up to speed on that because there won't be a lot of progress on the 00 for a little while as I get this side bender going. I may have enough stock footage that I can be doing this while you guys get caught up. So I figured I'd just let you guys know that's the case. And yeah, that's it for that.